Today we'll be talking about Deranged, 1974 film, really gruesome horror feature based off of the rather fictionalized the serial murderer Ed Gein, who of course also supposedly inspired Norman Bates, Hannibal Lecter, and Leatherface, who was introduced to the public the same year that this film was released. Deranged is pretty well made for what it is as far as horror movies of this type go. The performances are quite effective and chilling. The script is not half bad. It has a pretty distinct, somewhat black comedy, but certainly macabre vision it wants to relay. The film had two directors, Jeff Gillen and Alan Ormsby. The latter also wrote the script. Gillen directed no other films. Ormsby also directed 1974's The Great Masquerade, I know nothing about it, and 1991's Popcorn, co-directing with one Mark Herrier. Now, it's not the kind of film that those who don't expect to enjoy it will be surprised by, but I don't see why most horror fans, particularly those who like the splatter flicks, won't get a kick out of 74's Deranged. A film like this, it wants to validate the interests of those who feel that morbid fascination with serial killers. I don't bemoan people for this. You'll have to bemoan most of the population. That stuff is the most popular category on Netflix. Although there's a difference, I think, between wondering how and why they could do something like that and relishing in learning about it, feeling in some way gratified via immersing yourself in such reprehensible knowledge. Obviously, it doesn't have the really transcendental quality of Hooper's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which, as I said earlier, was released the same year, and even if you consider the decade at large, it also competes with, as far as films about a serial killer are concerned, based off of a real figure or just totally fictional. 10 Rillington Place, the 72 Bluebeard film starring Richard Burton, directed by the rather good director Edward Dmytryk. Hitchcock's Frenzy, one of my 5 favourites from Hitch, I tend to feel, actually. Eli Lommel's The Tenderness of the Wolves, damn creepy picture, stay away all faint of heart. That Jesus Franco Jack the Ripper film starring Klaus Kinski, if you haven't seen it, bet you've rarely wanted to see any movie more. Or any number of giallo flicks, which I'm not sure could count given their status as mystery thrillers first and foremost, rather than films wherein we gradually witness gruesome crimes unfold, knowing who the perpetrator is. Yeah, that's Deranged. Check it out if you like. You'll know if you'll get much out of it or not, I do believe.